You are standing not in the dust of forgotten empires, but in a quiet English nursery, circa 1920. Sunlight filters through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. On the floor, a small boy plays, his imagination vivid and boundless, surrounded by a collection of plush animals. This seemingly ordinary scene holds the genesis of a phenomenon, a world of friendship and adventure that would, in time, become an enduring myth of childhood. But beneath the honeyed charm and simple wisdom of the Hundred Acre Wood lies a complex tapestry woven from real lives, forgotten origins, and the unintended consequences of immense fame. What if the most innocent stories we cherish hide surprising truths about their creation, their inspirations, and even the real people who lived within their pages? You might think you know Winnie the Pooh, but prepare to journey into the deeper, often bittersweet, history of a bear with very little brain. For decades, millions have delighted in the gentle adventures of Pooh, Piglet, and their friends. But few truly grasp the extraordinary journey of these characters from a child's playroom to global icons. Their story is a fascinating blend of serendipity, personal sacrifice, and profound cultural impact. It begins with a very real, very brave bear from the Canadian wilderness. Imagine the year 1914, amidst the burgeoning horror of World War I. A Canadian veterinary surgeon, Lieutenant Harry Colebourn, purchased a small female black bear cub for $20 at a train station in White River, Ontario. He named her Winnie, after his hometown of Winnipeg. This wasn't some fanciful tale, this was a historical event. Winnie traveled with Colebourn to England, serving as the regimental mascot before being left at the London Zoo when Colebourn deployed to France. Do you see the first threads of truth beginning to emerge? This friendly bear, full of personality, quickly became a beloved attraction. Among her many admirers was a young boy named Christopher Robin Milne. Young Christopher, visiting the zoo with his father, the celebrated writer A. Milne, formed a deep bond with Winnie. He even got to enter her enclosure, a privilege usually denied to visitors, to play with her. This intimate encounter sparked the imagination of both father and son. A. Milne, known primarily as a successful playwright and essayist, found himself drawn to the simple, profound world of his only child. He observed Christopher Robin playing with his collection of stuffed animals, each one imbued with a unique personality in the boy's imaginative games. Christopher Robin's favorite teddy bear, a pink-nosed companion, was naturally renamed Winnie the Pooh in honor of the zoo bear. But where did Pooh come from? The answer lies not in a honeypot, but in a swan. Christopher Robin had previously befriended a swan he named Pooh. Thus, the beloved teddy bear inherited a double namesake, a whimsical blend of a real bear and a real bird. This meticulous detail, often overlooked, reveals the very organic, almost accidental, genesis of the characters we know so well. Walk through the English countryside, specifically Ashdown Forest in East Sussex, and you will find the spiritual home of Winnie the Pooh. This isn't just a picturesque location, it is the real-world inspiration for the 100 Acre Wood. The distinctive landscapes, the groves of trees, the winding paths, the stepping stones across a stream, all were familiar haunts for A. Milne and Christopher Robin during their idyllic walks. In fact, many specific locations from the books, such as the Poohsticks Bridge and Galleon's Lap, exist in recognizable forms within the forest. Consider the depth this adds to the stories. The adventures of Pooh and his friends weren't simply concocted from thin air, they were deeply rooted in a tangible, beloved place where a father and son spent countless hours together. Could this authentic connection to the natural world be part of Pooh's enduring appeal? A. Milne captured the essence of childhood play within a specific, cherished environment, lending an undeniable authenticity to every tale. While Christopher Robin's teddy bear became Winnie the Pooh, his other beloved toys also found their way into the stories. Piglet, Eeyore, Kanga, Roo, and Tigger were all actual stuffed animals owned by Christopher Robin, each faithfully depicted in Ernest H. Shepard's iconic illustrations. Shepard, a gifted artist, collaborated closely with Milne, painstakingly translating the charm of these worn, well-loved toys into the instantly recognizable characters that populate the books. His initial sketches, often overlooked in the shadows of Milne's prose, were critical to defining Pooh's visual identity. However, not all residents of the 100 Acre Wood sprang from a toy box. Owl and Rabbit, two of the most verbose and opinionated characters, were entirely products of Milne's imagination. This subtle distinction highlights Milne's genius. He wasn't merely documenting his son's playroom, he was crafting a complex narrative world, augmenting the real with the fantastical. Why did he choose to invent these two characters? Perhaps to introduce more adult-like figures, offering different perspectives and a touch of grounded reality against the more childlike innocence of the others. The fame that Winnie the Pooh brought was immense and global, but it cast a long and often painful shadow over the life of Christopher Robin Milne himself. From a young age, he was thrust into the spotlight, forever associated with the fictional boy who shared his name. This burden grew heavier as he matured, leading to a complex and sometimes strained relationship with his father and the very stories that brought them so much renown. Imagine being forever identified with a character from your childhood, long after you've grown up. Christopher Robin Milne, a quiet and private man, found it difficult to escape the saccharine image of the innocent boy in the books. His adult life, detailed in his poignant autobiography The Enchanted Places, reveals the deep personal cost of being the inspiration for one of literature's most beloved characters. This serves as a potent, if melancholy, counter-narrative to the seemingly perfect world of the Hundred Acre Wood. The enduring appeal of Winnie the Pooh has even transcended literature into the realm of psychology. Over the years, numerous researchers and psychologists have analyzed the characters, often playfully diagnosing them with various mental health conditions. Eeyore, the perpetually gloomy donkey, is frequently cited as exhibiting symptoms of depression. Piglet's chronic anxiety and fearfulness are often discussed. Tigger's boundless energy and impulsive nature have been linked to ADHD. While these interpretations are largely speculative and humorous, they speak to the deep psychological resonance of Milne's characterizations. They are not merely one-dimensional figures, they embody relatable human traits and struggles. This allows readers, both young and old, to see aspects of themselves and their friends reflected in the inhabitants of the Hundred Acre Wood. How else could such simple stories connect with so many across generations and cultures? Today, the original, beloved stuffed animals that inspired Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, Kanga, and Tigger reside not in an English nursery, but in a glass case at the New York Public Library. After years of touring and public display, they found their permanent home across the Atlantic in 1987. These humble toys, worn soft by a child's love and immortalized by a father's stories, stand as tangible artifacts of a literary revolution. Their preservation is a testament to the cultural significance of the Pooh stories, a recognition that these objects are more than mere playthings, they are relics of a foundational narrative that shaped modern childhood. The journey of these toys, from a small boy's arms to a global museum, underscores the profound impact their fictional counterparts have had on the collective human imagination. They represent a tangible link to the genesis of a cultural phenomenon. The legacy of Winnie the Pooh extends far beyond the original books and plush toys. It includes the vast and often contentious world of adaptations, most notably by the Walt Disney Company. Disney's animated films and merchandise introduced Pooh to an entirely new generation, cementing his place in global pop culture. This mass appeal, while spreading Pooh's gentle wisdom, also sometimes overshadowed the subtle charm and philosophical depth of Milne's original works. More recently, the earliest Winnie the Pooh works entered the public domain in the United States, sparking a new wave of creative interpretations, some quite unexpected, like horror films. This shift highlights the dynamic nature of intellectual property and how stories, once created, take on lives of their own, evolving and adapting across centuries. Pooh's enduring presence reminds us that the power of storytelling is timeless, capable of transcending its original context. From a real bear in a London zoo to a global phenomenon, the story of Winnie the Pooh is far more intricate than its simple charm suggests. It is a chronicle of a father's love, an artist's vision, and a child's reluctant journey into immortality. The seemingly simple world of the Hundred Acre Wood, initially a private sanctuary, blossomed into a universal landscape of childhood, shaping generations and forever altering our understanding of storytelling's power. So, the next time you encounter that bear of very little brain, remember the quiet English nursery, circa 1920, and the profound, enduring legacy of imagination that began there.